Hello everyone, welcome to Whiteboard Math, where today we will cover determinants of order 3. It is necessary for you to understand how to calculate determinants of order 2 before being able to understand the contents of this video. If you don't understand determinants of order 2 yet or want a refresher, I've linked to a video on this topic on the top of your screen and in the description. With that out of the way, let's continue with the determinants of order 3. We will first cover some theory and after that show a numerical example. On your screen you can see a system of 3 linear equations. These equations have 3 unknowns, x1, x2 and x3. If we solve this for x1 in the traditional way, we get this. Yeah, this is a very large equation and it is therefore difficult to interpret and memorize. That is also the reason that I'm not going to show you the equations for x2 and x3, because the principle is the same as for x1. The denominator of the equation on your screen is a determinant, just as with the determinants of order 2. But how do you find the determinant in case of a 3 by 3 matrix instead of a 2 by 2 matrix? To find the determinant in case of a matrix of order 3 as seen in the example on your screen, we have to compute 3 determinants of order 2. You can see matrix A on your screen now. Matrix A is a matrix corresponding to the system of equations we just saw. We find the determinant using the first row of the example matrix, so with A11, A12 and A13. Let's first have a look at A11. We multiply entry A11 with the determinant of order 2 that we find by removing the first row and the first column of matrix A. Now we have a look at A12. We multiply entry A12 with the determinant of order 2 that we find by removing the first row and the second column of matrix A. Finally, we look at A13. We multiply entry A13 with the determinant of order 2 that we find by removing the first row and the third column of matrix A. To complete our calculation for the determinant of A, we start with the first solution we found when using A11 in our calculation. After that, we subtract the second solution we found using A12 in our calculation. Lastly, we add the final solution we found using A13. When we calculate this using the principles covered in my video on the determinants of order 2, we end up with the determinant of matrix A. If you simplify the equation on your screen, you exactly get the denominator we found earlier when we used the original way of calculating x1, x2 and x3. Try it, the denominator for the calculation of x1 is still on your screen. Let's now use a simple numerical example. On your screen you can see matrix B, consisting of entries 2, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 0 and 4. If we follow the rules we previously stated, we get to this. We multiply 2 by the determinant of order 2 that appears when we remove the first row and the first column of matrix B. So, 2 times the determinant of 3, 2, 0 and 4. After that we multiply 0 by the determinant of order 2 that we find by removing the first row and the second column of matrix B. So, 0 times the determinant of 1, 2, 2 and 4. Lastly, we multiply 3 by the determinant of order 2 that we find by removing the first row and the third column of matrix B. So 3 times the determinant of 1, 3, 2 and 0. To complete our calculation for the determinant of matrix B, we start with the first solution we found when using 2 in our calculation. After that we subtract the second solution we found when using 0. Lastly, we add the final solution we found when using 3. If we follow the rules from the determinants of order 2, we end up with the final solution of 6. How do we calculate this? Let's look at the first part. This determinant is calculated as 3 times 4 minus 0 times 2. Which is 12. 2 times 12 is 24, so the first part is 24. The second part is easy because we don't have to calculate it, as anything multiplied by 0 is always 0. The last part is calculated as 1 times 0 minus 2 times 3, which equals minus 6. 3 times minus 6 is minus 18. The final solution of the determinant of B is therefore 24 minus 0 plus minus 18, which equals 6. That brings us to the end of the video. Please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if this video was useful to you in any way. In my next video we are going to use Cramer's rule to calculate x1, x2 and x3. See you in my next video.